going on, everybody? I'm Jabby Kuwait, joined by ACHARA Kirk.
What's up?
We are continuing forward with Succession, Season 1, Episode 2. This one is called... Well, I don't want to say the name of this episode because it's too early in the YouTube video to say a bad word.
Many swear words.
Yeah.
Something show at the something factory.
Yeah. Shoot show at the Frick Factory. That'll help you. Anyways, thanks so much for joining us again as we continue this journey with Succession. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see a cut down version of our reaction because we can only show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture, but if you want to watch the whole thing with us, no cuts, no interruptions, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JabbyKuwait, or become a member of this channel. You'll get access to the full uncut reaction, but you will need your own HBO Max subscription.
It's called Max now.
Yes. So you can open up each episode in an adjacent window to our reaction. We'll give you a 3-2-1 countdown sync, and it'll be like you're watching it with two of your favorite cinepals from the internet. Now, if you're watching this on Patreon or memberships already, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, pretty please vote this up, let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Here we go.
Rava, hey, my dad's in the hospital. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be okay. I don't know. I'm here with Jess. We're just trying to get there. Can we just find a way around the traffic, man? Just figure it out, please.
Oh, it's a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
What is this part of the hospital? I mean, is this the best section?
Excuse me, doctor, is this the best part of the hospital?
The ICU is the ICU. This is the best place for him.
Is this where you would take your father?
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you worry about the medicine, not the feng shui?
Energy. Let's let the gentleman do his job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Come on, let's do this for Dad. Come on.
Thank you.
Yeah, let him work. That look. I was like, why is that? Why does she get to stay?
It's so, like, bizarre because, like, there are these moments that are kind of funny, but I can't tell if it's just supposed to highlight just the audacity of these characters or if it's also supposed to be funny. Maybe it's supposed to be both.
a little bit of both, yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
I was like,
Is this where you take your dad?
Yeah. Like, shut up. Let the man work.
I mean, it's a question I think that a lot of us would like to ask, though.
Right now, he's in the ICU, fine. Like, if you want to do your research and then send him to a better hospital of your choosing later on, like, just get him stabilized now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Did Dad ever talk to any of you guys about cryogenics?
You're insane.
We need to know who the top players are, okay? Who's the top dog in this hospital? Have you talked to Dad's neurologist? Did he tell us who the top guys are
the king
here?
of the hospital. We're all trying to do our best, so just off.
He didn't talk to you about cryogenics,
Yes,
Con.
he did,
You
Ken.
talked to him about cryogenics because you're obsessed with cryogenics.
I'm not really, Ken.
And what he didn't tell you and what I'm telling you now
Yes?
is that you are an idiot.
Sticks and stones, Kenny.
That cryogenic conversation is actually worthwhile.
I have like $20 left.
I am not sending you any more money, Greg.
Step up.
I'm not asking you to send me.
Look, just
Make sure about the job.
Wow.
Do you have cash?
Oh, not just my last 20.
That's fine, thanks.
I don't think those machines take 20s, do they?
Humble circumstances in Dundee,
I
Scotland.
guess it does.
That's like such typical, like, rich person behavior, too. It's like, cool, I'll take that, and she'll probably never return it to him.
Kendall, I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Can you give me 5? We need to talk. Over here, okay?
What about?
obviously the nominating committee, the board, has a plan in the event of Logan's incapacitation. In the event that we continue on our trajectory of his current consciousness, we're going to need to announce a plan by around 6:30 before the markets open in order to avoid a lot of funky chowder.
Wow.
We talked to some of the trustees of the hospital, so everybody knows who's who.
Yeah, it's not a war room yet, but
But if we need one, it's available.
Wow.
So there's a bathroom through there. Hi, Carolina. Thank you, guys.
She said, can I talk to you for a minute?
Yeah.
Kendall's here, and you're on speaker, guys. As you know, our standing plan in the event of Logan's absence is to separate his CEO and chairman roles.
My dad is my focus right now, okay?
Well, of course. It's just that there's a problem in terms of the optics if what happened earlier today between you two gets out.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
And then there's the problem with Frank.
Wow.
As in
Logan fired him and promoted Roman.
Roman?
Wow. News gets around fast.
I can't get into this right now, guys.
no, of course. You are in no fit state.
Uh-oh.
What?
I mean, if I was saying what actually happened today,
it would be nothing.
Well, that certainly makes things simpler from our point of view. Do you think you can get the family behind it?
Then you unfire that guy?
Yeah.
The trust only comes into play if certain things happen.
Yeah, he's dead, or brain dead.
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be nice for Dad to wake up and for all of us to have signed like he wanted?
Oh.
And if he doesn't wake up, we've basically signed over to Marcia the power to choose the new dad.
For the record, you are declining to sign in the change of trust.
What the is this, McCarthyism? I'm not declining, I'm not declining.
Okay, it's just, that just seems very shitty under the circumstances.
What circumstances?
Well, you did make her husband's brain explode.
Man.
Wow.
Oh!
Wait, stop.
Oh my god.
No!
Oh,
no.
That's the right move.
Walk
Just
away
get
from
out.
the sibling fight.
So unfair. He's a great man.
He makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah, just. Oh my god, stop. You literally just arrived.
Let me come to his birthday lunch, and he offered me a job.
Oh my gosh. Is this appropriate? You can shut up now.
If there's anything that I can do, let me know.
He's so slimy.
Actually, there is something.
You can leave.
Can you go to the apartment and get his bed things and slippers? The ones with the dark checks.
We can get Colin or the driver to go and get his things.
I don't need this fly buzzing in my face.
Yeah, smart.
Hey, I need a favor from you.
What's up?
Dad had some papers he wanted us to sign, and they're in some envelopes.
Where are the papers?
They're in the house somewhere. They're just in envelopes, and they're just in the house. You got it?
Okay. I was imagining that it was
in my goddamn neck. I have to go.
Papers and they're gonna be just.
I'm so done with this conversation. Just handle it, okay?
All right. Yeah.
They didn't give him any money to get around.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, they just assume that everyone is, like, the same as them.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just going to ask the driver to take him. That's what I would do.
Oh, yeah. That's
be
smart.
like, hey, can you help me on this errand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The thing is that the plan is to announce that I take over from Dad.
Well, no.
Excuse me? What do you mean?
I mean, we're waiting for the results of the scan. It's a pointless conversation.
The plan is that Frank and I will take over.
Frank was fired, so...
If Dad dies, I don't want to be talking about this shit when he dies.
He won't die.
If they're unfit to participate in conversation, that word unfit is very important.
Yes.
He's had a hemorrhagic stroke, a bleed in the deep right hemisphere that put pressure on the thalamus and the brainstem, and that's what caused the loss of consciousness. Operating in situations like these isn't worthwhile.
So then, what do you do? I mean,
You can't do nothing.
Well, we will carry out regular observations, and hopefully we'll see some improvement soon.
Thank you for your input, but you'll understand if we check out our options. My assistant's been in touch with Ann Wyman at NYU, and we might move Dad there.
No. He stays here. He gets better here.
We'll discuss and get back to you.
No. No discussion. I am his next of kin. I am his proxy. I am in charge.
Oh, the power struggle. She laid down the law.
We'll move Logan to a suite in Greenberg. I'll show you the way. Feel free to ask me on the way up.
Yeah. Shiv's face.
will you carry on as COO, step up on the board?
Become acting chairman?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
You fired me, Ken.
Look, I don't know if he even knew what he was saying, if his brain was working.
His brain was working fine. There's a lot of mess to be cleaned up, Kendall, but you can do it, son. You can. I'm sorry about your father. And good luck, Kenny.
That was not the response I was expecting, but like, good for him for, you know, sticking to his guns.
He's like, I'm out of this mess.
Yeah. Like, I don't blame him, honestly.
I want no part of this bullshit.
Yeah.
I
that was
get
a
it.
massive betrayal.
Yeah.
Be like, you know, put in all that work for 30 years and then be like, actually, no, you're fired. That was a dick move.
Greg. Hey, did you find those contracts Roman asked for?
Yes, I got them.
Oh, I think you have the wrong ones.
Okay. Right, what,
She's so...
This is a favor I'd like you to do for me, and I'd like you to be discreet. You stay for a while, you can't find them, you come back, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Greg needs to start playing the game.
Hey, what's up, Kendall?
You mix me up with your sponsor?
Listen, I'm just calling to issue a reminder. You do what I say. Let others say what they want, but we stay dark. You get me? No reporting on what went down yesterday, the turmoil.
Well, I can do whatever I want because Volta and our satellite sites have editorial independence, as set out in that piece of paper you sent.
You know what that piece of paper is to me? Nothing. Jerk off on that paper and send it to you as a greeting card. Simon says, mum's the word.
Is he going to comply, though?
Hey, let's put something together about the Roy family shit show.
Ugh.
Wow.
Could have seen that coming.
Well, it just seemed like he was poking the tiger a little bit there.
Yeah.
But maybe that was going to happen anyway.
Okay.
Volta is running a story about how the company's in turmoil.
Don't we own him? Show at the factory?
Yeah, uncertainty, discord. That is not a good story. Family gets behind other member of family. That's a good story. Because when trading opens tomorrow, we're going to drop like a stone. The only question is, what's the bottom?
Wow, that's a way to put it.
I was about to be announced. I mean, how can I not be the logical choice?
Because you were about to be announced, Ken, and then you weren't. I mean, the only thing we know for certain, like for absolute certain tonight, is that Dad didn't want you running the company. So if there was a list of 7 billion people on this planet that Dad would choose to be boss, we know you would be last.
Dad fired you, man.
He said it was just going to take a little longer.
But he said that to be nice. What I think he meant to say was that he wished that Mom gave birth to a can opener, because at least then it would be useful.
Wow.
Damn.
What do you have against me?
You lack killer instinct, you're wet, you're green, you're intellectually insecure, you're not emotionally strong enough, you have addiction issues.
Wait, that's enough.
Oh.
I don't think all that, I'm just trying to be Dad's voice.
Bravo.
Wow.
That's an excellent impression.
Harsh.
What was that about? Just has this air of bitch.
Not in the movie.
There's something I have to say to you.
What?
Siobhan Roy.
Oh, God. Not now, Tom. No. Stop. Put it away.
I wanted to do something to make all this better. And I thought, while your dad's still with us, wouldn't that be a nice thing? We can get a quick wedding. What?
Is it about my dad dying in a sterile environment that screams big romantic gesture to you?
Yeah.
Well, it's a horrible day, and I thought it would be a nice thing.
Oh, Tom.
I'm not gonna give you a blowjob when your dog dies, right?
It's not the worst idea.
Let's just not have this as the moment. Why don't you do this again properly another time?
No, exactly. This is not the moment. This didn't happen. Abort. Abort. Abort.
Good. Okay.
I don't feel bad for him at all.
Why?
Like, my attitude right now is this guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes?
Yeah. So when it happens, yes.
Yes? Yep.
I mean, she clearly loves him.
Yeah, but they're both awful.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't celebrating when Cersei and Jaime got together.
I don't think this is the same.
It feels just icky, though.
My family.
Our family.
I think he's just an opportunist.
Yeah, I do think so. But I think that she
asked the right question. Why do you want to do this before my dad dies? He's trying to be part of the inheritance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got the slippers.
Thank you. They're the wrong ones.
Do you know that he gave me a job?
What job?
I thought you might know, because I thought everybody's talking and like might be talking about me.
Yeah, no, everybody was talking about you this whole time. Everyone was only talking about you, Cousin Greg.
I get it. Ha ha.
When you figure all this out, come in and see me, and I'll look after you. All right?
Nope, don't trust him.
I've been thinking, and this is my vision. We go for it. Me and you, CEO and COO.
Oh.
Me and my homie Romy. Like, I could teach you, and you could, teach me.
And Shiv?
I mean, you know what Shiv's like. Ultimately, she's a daddy's girl. I mean, she wants to play it safe. We're the ones with the nuts to revolutionize.
Okay, I'm not uninterested. All right, then. Just want to make sure we trust each other. Everything up front, okay? Shake on it or something? Official? Oh. Okay.
Everything is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I've asked Roman to be acting COO.
Actual COO.
To my acting CEO.
And you said?
I said, why not?
Well, I'm saying no.
Me too.
I thought you were White Helmet.
Yeah.
Sometimes a peacekeeper has to go shoot a maniac on the perimeter, okay?
Why would you say no to this and yes to Jerry?
Jerry has been with the company for 20 years. I know Dad trusts her.
Yeah, she's older, she's wiser, she's a mature person, such as myself.
Uh-huh. It's either me and Roman and us as a family, or it's Ava and Carl, or some face suit from the deep state of the company. They could take the company out of our hands.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If Dad wakes up and he's frail and he's looking at the end game, you want to be the one who tells him his family business isn't family run anymore?
That's a great
Yeah.
point. That's a great point. I feel like he's making strong points.
He is making strong arguments here.
Because he is green and he does lack like that fire that he needs.
The killer instinct.
The killer instinct.
Yeah.
But he is the best person for the job with all things considered.
While Dad is ill, the family proposes that Kendall run the company with Roman as COO.
I hereby concur.
I will let the committee know of the family's position, and pending board approval, we can announce.
For the record,
Absolutely.
I personally believe this to be a total disaster.
Okay, good. We need to talk. There's a few things you should know.
Oh God. The things that she knows that'll explode your brain.
Okay, there's no way to put this nicely, so forgive me for stating it baldly, but there's a huge debt problem.
What do you... No.
Yes,
No, there's not.
3 billion.
Whoa.
No one knows. Well, me and Frank.
What?
In 1985, Logan needed cash badly for the expansion into parks, so he took out a loan through the family holding company, and then he added that loan to the company's already considerable debt.
Wow. Does that mean they have nothing in the trust?
We can deal.
Yeah, but Kendall, the thing is, it's secured against Waystar stock, and when the stock hits 130, they can pursue repayment in full.
Oh my gosh.
Decided to do that would eviscerate us.
Yeah, but there's no precedent for that. They'll never do that. They'll renegotiate.
Well, that depends. Well, you see, the banks know that the man they invested in can no longer function. As far as they're concerned, you're just some kid with nice hair. Don't jump.
Wow.
Gosh. It's like you won, but what did you win?
Yeah, what did you win? A company that's $3 billion in debt that you didn't even know about. Oh my God.
But what we do know is that he's stable, so if you want to grab some sleep, this is a good time. Night, Dad. Bye. See you soon.
You'd think when you're paying for a room like that, you'd at least have a lazy boy chair.
Is he gonna wake up now?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Woo! Oh, dang. Okay, wow. All right, that's exciting. It's like, what's going to happen now, you know? Jesus, I feel really bad for Kendall.
The shit show's just getting started.
I know. And like, I really enjoy his performance. I'm not sure of the actor's name, but like, I like how he's got so many layers, because on the surface, he seems like this kind of like bro-y, like dumbass douchebag. But then like underneath, you see all of the like the chips on his shoulders, and like how being in that family has affected him, and he has this like interesting vulnerability as well.
Yep.
And he's just so interesting to watch.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems to be the only person in that family so far, besides the stepmother, who has actual heart, because his siblings just seem to be quite heartless and cruel.
Sharks.
To one another, and it's like there is no sense of unity amongst them at all, except from him.
Yeah.
He's the only one that has that sort of leadership, while it might need some like sharpening,
some refining. Yeah.
Like he definitely is the only one who has real leadership capability in that family, in that collection.
Well, I don't know if it's actually properly leadership, right? It's like he wants to be that, but like his sister said, you know, he doesn't really have that killer instinct. So maybe he doesn't really have that like leadership quality, but he really wants to.
The way his character is built right now, if there was someone else who was capable of being leader in his family, I don't feel like he would step in front of them. I feel like he would allow them to take that position.
Yeah, I mean, out of everyone in his family,
Yeah.
I think right now he seems to definitely be the best choice. His older brother is just a little bit like, you know, how do
He's
you
a
say?
weasel.
Yeah, but he's like kind of, well, I was gonna say like airy fairy, but you know, he's just kind of out there and like whatever. He doesn't really want to get involved. The sister is bitchy, but she also doesn't want to take responsibility. And then Roman is just like a wild card.
I feel like the dad has some sort of twisted way of expressing his love and challenging his children that makes sense to him in his head. This is going to sound like a weird comparison, but you know how when, what's his name was playing Snape in all the Harry Potter films, he was the only one that knew the truth from J.K. Rowling.
Right.
I can't remember his name right now. The English actor. You know what I'm talking about, though. Everybody knows who I'm talking about, and they'll say it in the comments, and there'll be 1,000 comments with his name.
R.I.P. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like he was the only one who knew, and so all of his actions were informed by something he knew that no one else did. This is like acting shit, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that actor, or was it Brian Cox, and like just like the way he is taking on that character. If we were able to get insight into the pages he wrote in developing an understanding of his own character and what he wrote about his children, I feel like there would be interesting things in there baked in about how he believes that everything he's doing is the right way in order to make his kids better.
Right, like
You know
how
what I mean?
he views them. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think all that is kind of a fascinating just examination of the human condition and like how we all operate and function, and nothing is black and white and very straightforward, especially in this show with all the characters. Everything will like twist on a dime really fast.
Yeah.
You know, even though not a whole lot is happening, it's more of like psychological stuff and the way they're toying with each other.
The family drama.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because even though Roman comes off as like a douchebag as well, like he really does love his dad. You know, he's the only one who's fighting for getting the rest of the siblings to sign the papers, although I'm not sure if there's an ulterior motive there. But then, like, you know, he wanted his dad's clothes, which had his dad smell, which I'm like,
it's confusing. I can't tell. I can't.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Like he's an extremely like unpredictable character. That's what makes him so interesting. I don't know if I like him like as a person.
Acting is good.
But yeah, his acting's really good. The character's super interesting, and you know that you're always gonna get surprises with him. So he's really fun to watch.
I think the acting across the board is fantastic in this
Yeah.
show. As I said at the end of episode 1, like while I didn't like anybody necessarily, except for our main dude, Kendall.
Yeah.
Outside of him, there's no one I could really see as my North Star morally, like as the person I feel like I could root for. But that aside, everybody's acting is fantastic. The writing is quite strong. And the only part that kind of threw me was when Macaulay Culkin's brother,
Kieran,
when inside that big room, the lecture hall, he couldn't quite figure out like how to sit in that chair. And it felt like it was one of those moments where I couldn't tell if it was a good choice or if he was just trying too hard to be interesting.
Right, it was a little bit distracting.
Yeah. Like that was the only thing that kind of threw me in this episode, which is like a minor complaint, you know, all things considered.
Yeah, it was pretty shocking though, just kind of when he slapped her.
I liked that.
I liked it though, because it felt like so real. There is something about family that when you are with family again, you kind of revert back to those childhood roles. And so like I could totally see them as little kids, just like, you know, having a physical fight. Because like I've done that with my sister, and I've done that with her as an adult. You know, it doesn't change. And like when I see my little sister, I still kind of tease her and like slightly antagonize her or whatever. It's just like you fall into those old patterns. And so it was interesting to kind of see these like two grown-ass adults have like a little scuffle in that room. It really tickled me.
I know that this is a fiction, but like it's just interesting how it kind of gives you some insight, assuming any research is done on actual, you know, rich billionaire families. It kind of gives you insight as to like how these operations might get conducted. It's like there is so much pettiness that goes on with matters that deal with so many people's lives. You know,
it's like
they're at the top, right? But there's so many people below them that work for them, and there's billions of dollars at stake. There's all these different companies at play,
and like things are kept secret too. Like no one knew except for you know, like
the trio.
close circle, like the dad, Jerry, and Frank, that they were that much in debt, you know? And so it's like a really scary place to be. And that was such a good cliffhanger at the end to be like, oh, you've won, but like, what did you win really? And then Dad wakes up. It's like, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
How is he going to take all of this news to see how everything changed or like the decisions that were made while he was out of it?
I'm really curious to see where Kendall's relationship with his ex-wife goes. I mean, they were holding hands the last time we saw them together. And so she seems to be morally a good person. Like she has a good heart. She came to have his back. She didn't need to do that. She could have just done that with a phone call or a text.
Well, yeah, but I think, you know, just because you are no longer in a relationship with someone, it doesn't necessarily mean that you stop caring for them or that you stop doing nice, kind things that a good person would do.
But
you know?
I think a situation like this can bring people back together.
Sure.
You know, for all intents and purposes, she is family. She had kids with him and like, you know what I'm saying? So,
and she probably feels safe for him as well.
Exactly.
Like, look at his siblings. They're monsters.
Yeah. And she's intimately familiar with all of those dynamics.
Exactly.
And so I wonder where that's going to go. It's got me quite curious as to how that's going to play out. I hope she stays a good character and doesn't become a twisted evil bitch or something like that over the course of the journey. I don't even know if she's going to come back. I would imagine she's like here to stay and she's part of the story. But I'm enjoying it so far. I feel like I got more entertainment value out of this one. Whereas the previous one was more like objectively, I can see this is good.
Yeah, I mean, the first one definitely is setting up the characters and the premise, right? And then as we keep going, I'm sure it's just going to get deeper and deeper into like what's going on and the dynamics and the story, you know?
The fiance character, who I was calling husband.
Oh gosh.
I just really, really want to see him get slapped. I hate him so much right now.
He's got so much in common with cousin Greg. And I think he probably sees a bit of that in himself. And like he's worried that Greg is going to like usurp his position or whatever somehow. But yeah, like I find that the two of them are kind of similar. Like I feel like Tom is just like the older, more seasoned, more jaded version of Greg. They both so want to be accepted by the family and like they both want something from the family and they almost feel like pariahs in the family in a way.
So it's fascinating to me that this came after Game of Thrones because, well, at least it started after Game of Thrones because this looks like a show that's older than Game of Thrones with the way it's shot and all that stuff. Just stylistically, it feels older. And it almost feels like a documentary. One of the things you mentioned earlier was the style in which it's shot. It feels very real in a lot of ways. And so I appreciate that aspect. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoy this. I'm Jabby Kuwait. This is
ACHARA Kirk.
Peace out.